What's up, everybody? Jack here from Half-Chrome. I've got these for you today. These are the FPV-One goggles from Orqa, and I love them. They're awesome. They're super cool. These are the best analog goggles you can buy, and I don't think too many people would argue with that. I have them running a rapid fire module. I even picked up the FPV Connect module, so these things are pretty tricked out, and I think they look pretty darn cool also. Now, they are nice, but they are expensive, and they're probably the most expensive goggle you can get. So they're probably not everybody's cup of tea for that reason. So I'll tell you all about these, and I'll give you some alternatives at some other price points. I'll also talk about some of my FPV gear that I'm using these days and why I like it to go with these goggles. Stay tuned. So let's talk about what you're getting here. Well, the construction on these things is just really darn nice. I like the look. I think they're sleek, they're different, they're unique, they stand out. But they're also low profile and check in at about 210 grams, so they're not super heavy either. The screens on these are really nice. They're 1280 by 960 OLEDs, and you can change the field of view from 44 degrees to 30 degrees. You can also switch the way that you're viewing the image from 16 by 9 to 4:3 if that's what you prefer. However, 4:3 is kind of the standard picture viewing angle that you're going to get out of these goggles, and probably from most FPV cameras anyway. There are IPD adjustments on the bottom, and you can adjust them from 56 to 74 millimeters. The module goes here on the left side. There's also a couple of things that are interesting here. There is an audio jack, right? So you can record yourself talking if you connect a microphone, and you can even mix that in with an audio feed coming from your drone. You can adjust all that in the DVR settings. There's also a head tracker button down here.
One of the cool things about these Orqa goggles, you can actually hook up a microphone and record audio. I've never been able to do that before, and that's kind of neat. You can also, of course, record audio, I'm guessing, with those live streams, so that's something we'll check out.
On the other side, we've got a connector for your LiPo. It's going to use a 2S LiPo. Mine did not come with a battery, but you can get one. There's also an AV in as well as an HDMI in, so you can use these to run a simulator on your computer. You know, on the top are where the buttons tend to be. The right side here is where your DVR is going to happen. That's your record button. And then this button here will, if you click it, it'll tell you your battery power. On the other side, we're going to change channels with these two buttons here. Long press for band, short press for channel. And then you've got your main menu joystick over here. We've got a power button on these, and you can actually change the way the power button works. By default, it's one tap. You can make it 2 taps, or you can just make it where you plug in and it powers on. The fan is on the other side here, and some people think it's noisy. I personally don't, and I did have to keep the fan running because I found these goggles fogged up just a little bit quicker than some of my others. It's got cool things like head tracker alarm, so if you're tilting your head down, it'll beep and you can pull it back up. But really what I think is best about these is the DVR. It'll record right in here, right on an SD card, but it's going to record 1280 by 960 at 60 frames a second. That's one of the best DVRs in the industry. That is really cool. That's a good reason to buy these goggles. Another good reason to buy these goggles is the processing power inside of them. These things are really more powerful than they need to be, and that's because Orqa wants to make these future-proof, right? Instead of fatshark, which is, you get what you get, and maybe you even have a power button, maybe you don't, and then you buy the next set of goggles when they come out. With these, they're pushing out firmware updates to make them better, and they've already been doing that. Now, I purchased the FPV Connect module from Orqa directly, and I think it was $65. Now, that allows me to connect these to my mobile phone via a Wi-Fi connection. So I can share the videos that are on here with my mobile phone. I can also live stream directly from the goggles. Now, I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but when I do, you can check it out on Facebook. That module makes it nice and easy to update my firmware right over the air. Now, I found these goggles to be really pretty darn comfortable. If you buy them from Get FPV, they're going to cost you $550. If you buy them from Banggood, they're going to cost you close to $7. Actually, you can save $150 by clicking on the link in the description below and clip that coupon. Now, I told Banggood that that's kind of ridiculous. And when you buy them from Banggood, you don't even get this foam piece here or a battery. So you're going to have to upgrade and get both of those. The foam piece from Orqa costs you $15, and they send you this leather/pleather one as well as a neoprene one. So I do really like these goggles. They're super comfortable. The screens are great. The picture is fantastic. They work really well with this rapid fire module. These are the best goggles you can buy. But they're not for everybody because, well, they're pretty darn expensive. So what other options might I recommend? For less than $100, you can get the Eachine EV800s with one antenna or diversity antennas for about $80. These are really nice because the screen is detachable and you can just use this as a monitor. At $200, I'd recommend these, the fatshark Scouts, and these are actually the goggles that I keep on my bench when I'm checking things. I find them to be really comfortable, really nice screen, and actually these have a heck of a DVR. They even have diversity antennas. For about $200, they're nice. They're a lot more lower profile than most box-style goggles, and I can wear these in the morning when I'm still wearing my glasses. In the $300 to $400 range, I'd recommend some Sky Zones. The O2Cs or O2Xs are a little bit less than $300, and they're pretty solid, nice low profile goggle. And then as you move up in price, I recommend the Sky Zone O3Os. Now they did just release the O4Os, I think, and they're about $500. They are a nicer goggle than this, but they're also $500. When you're getting that close to the Orcas, maybe you just go with the Orcas. Now, what about Fatshark? They make a good goggle, right? Yeah, they do. But, well, again, like I said, when you're getting into the price of the HDOs and the HDO2s, I'd probably just go with the Orcas. This, however, is the big caveat, right? What about DJI goggles? These are about $550, and you can buy a module to run analog for about $15. Now, you're still going to have to add a receiver to this, so yes, these get pricey too, but they give you the option of going digital. DJI digital, and that's a whole lot of fun. But Orca's not quite done yet. Now, they are pushing out firmware, and they've talked about how they like to incorporate some of that digital stuff. Now, you can use this with the Fatshark Bitefrost digital system because you've got that HDMI, and who knows, maybe in the future you can even upgrade these to run with your DJI stuff. I don't know. I'd love to see that. Time will tell. They did show this working as a head tracker for a Mavic. Still can't do that yet either, but that just means they are trying to work with DJI products too. So these are the goggles that I recommend. I really like them, and if you're wondering what other gear do I suggest, definitely the Radiomaster T16S. It is a fantastic radio. Now, I've got the blinged up version. You don't need that, but it is a solid multi-protocol radio that works with almost everything, and it's not going to break the bank, starting to right around $100. If you're looking for a quad, I've been flying this thing quite a bit lately. It's the Nazgul version 2. I love it. It's got some dirt on it here, but really nice for about $200. Super smooth. If you want to save a few dollars, you can get the version 1. I think it's about $175. Either way, solid 5-inch, well-built drone. One more thing that I recommend to everybody in terms of camera, you want one of these, not a GoPro. I mean, the GoPro is better. Don't get me wrong, takes better images, but this Insta360 Go is small and light, and you can put it on a 5-inch, you can put it on a small little micro, and it does really awesome stabilization. This is what I'm putting on my quads. Unless, I mean, if you need cinematic, great footage, then yeah, you need a GoPro, but they're big, heavy, and expensive, and when they crash, and they tend to break. This thing survived quite a few crashes for me already. Hey, hope this was helpful. You know, if it was, give us a thumbs up. If not, thumb it down and we'll do better next time. And you know what? Leave me a comment down below and let me know, do you have questions? What would you like to see from us? If you haven't checked us out already, make sure you do on halfchrome.com, where we have everything from photography to FPV. Hey, good luck and happy flying.